All right, all right, all right. It's time to start here. We've got our crew ready to go and ready to have some fun. We are in our Israela campaign in the world of Exandria, having just run away from the craziness that was Vasselheim, and it got a little bit too hot for our characters. Through some confessions and discoveries, making their way a great distance across the plains of Israel towards the west coast and islands that eagerly await for them as they hope to take some time and find out the mystery of these collars and potentially what that relation truly is of Mother Esme, who has been traveling with them. So we will begin. Currently, we find them quickly going through the air with a bloodied Palin, trying to find a safe way, safe place to stop and rest. And as they find a clearing, this is a critical role call. Welcome to the door 8, links in the description, and you can go ahead and put inspiration in the chat. And as they find their way to a little bit of a clearing, at least enough to set up some camp between the trees, we will catch up with them as they can collect their thoughts from everything that has happened. And so with that, we'll say that you have some warmth and have gathered around. What would you like to do?
Does this look like a safe spot for us to pitch a camp for the night?
It's pretty safe.
All right. I will drop the spell that I do, which I'm forgetting the name of. Hearth of something. Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow. Which, while we're hanging out in the outside here, will give us a bonus to stealth and perception and hide any flames. Obviously, we can go into somebody's hut too, but that'll just give us a 30-foot sphere of safety while we're figuring out a plan.
Okay.
Yes, Palin, would you like to create the hut?
Shauna, have I finished learning how to...
Not that one yet.
I don't believe I have.
What do you do with your spare time?
I'm insufferably lazy. I apologize. Please have mercy. I totally forgot to learn that.
I was going to hand you a book and be like, you're reading for the next couple hours.
Palin would
You're gonna go
dutifully,
past- Go past Tiny Hut.
Homework is Palin's preferred form of punishment. Yeah, I definitely don't have it yet.
Yep. She's making you spend some of your gold on that spell tonight.
Totally appropriate.
It's just so, see, Palin, when you learn it, I can leave the bubble then, and don't always have to be the one to sit in here while you all can leave. It's a little convenient.
Oh, you mean I could be safe inside, and then you could
Yes,
go out and...
exactly.
Oh. It's frantically trying to observing Shauna as she's casting this spell, trying to glean some. Palin would be very invested in learning this spell now.
I should really lead with that more often. His safety comes first.
So, Shauna, is he your apprentice?
I'd like to call him a student.
Oh. Good to
That
know.
seems appropriate. Mm-hmm.
Mother Esme, do you have any more of that tea handy? Tea? What? What tea? Oh, I heard you said before you like tea. I also like tea.
Oh, I have two kinds of tea.
Oh.
I've got lavender tea, very relaxing. And I've got toad skin tea, makes you see funny things. Happy to make either, whatever everybody's feeling.
Let's go lavender, please.
Lavender it is. Okay, I'll start brewing up some lavender tea. Add a little fire. Oh, wait, are we in a hut? Are we in a hut?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a fire in the hut, or will I kill us all? It's a carbon monoxide thing. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
I think fire pass. I think heat passes and smoke will pass through it.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll make a bit of tea and hand it out when it's done.
I'll just have water.
Easy enough.
But Esme, you love tea. You've never passed
You
up an
like
opportunity
tea?
for tea before.
No, I know it, but I wouldn't feel right about consuming something that's meant just for taste when water is perfectly sufficient.
It's actually
Well,
meant
the
just to
other
warm
tea-
you up.
It does do that. And the other tea make you see funny things. So it's not just for taste. There's another reason too, like an extra layer if you need multiple layers.
What sort of funny things?
Well, it's kind of a personal journey. I can't really tell you what you'll see.
I like funny things.
Me too.
I saw a comedy show once.
Similar to that, except all in your head is, I
Well,
think, mainly how it works.
It was more like a talent show at the convent.
And what sort of talents did they do?
Oh, she was hilarious. She had this, I believe they call it a bit. And she was standing before the audience and she held up her hands and she said, "I communicate." You know, like commune, except communicate. You had to
yeah.
be there.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yes.
Yes.
That's a good one.
It was really, it was a real, I believe the professionals call it a knee slapper.
Knee slapper. She slayed the room, is what you're saying.
Oh, no, nothing like that. It was actually all very professional and I'm sure Marvelous knows more about that sort of thing.
Yes, and so Marvelous pulls out a bit and a bladder and lays it before him.
Good Night's also gonna keep first watch, so nothing happens before we can actually get some rest.
So Marvelous, is that the whole bit?
He looks in the bag. I believe it is. Unfortunately, the leg was broken, so we did slay it.
Mother, would you call that a knee slapper?
I think that's above my head.
I don't
Maybe-
understand what's happening either.
Well, maybe we should,
And Goodnight looks above Sister Esme's head and says, "I don't see anything up there."
Oh no.
Oh my god.
perhaps I need to commune better.
That one she laughs at.
Hey, speaking of weird things, does anyone know anything about Archfey?
Well, I may know a thing or two. Depends what you see. Bahamut has blessed me many times with knowledges
on those sorts of things. You know, Bahamut is very friendly. You can always come over. He's well opening. They even gave Mother Esme a nice fancy room when she stayed there.
Yeah, I was thinking I would never go there, but if you have any knowledge about Archfey, that would be wicked.
We've been beset by like all manner of terrible adversaries lately. Some kind of expected, some unexpected. Dewdrop, is this a new threat we should be aware of, or why the sudden interest?
No. I've been thinking a lot about what happened at the inn like a week ago, where I learned that maybe my family's alive, and I was thinking about that guy that was standing outside, and he just appeared out of nowhere, and he told me my family was still alive and they missed me, and then he vanished. And then we tried to scry on the family, and we were, just based on the way the scrying went, thinking maybe that they were in the Feywild. And I was just trying to think of what power could do that. And the first thing that came to mind was Archfey. But I don't really, I was young when I went to the Fey with my family. I don't remember a ton about it, and how it works. But like, I knew the Archfey were, almost godlike in their power, and I was just thinking maybe that's a place for me to start trying to figure this riddle out.
So for me to try and see if I have any knowledge on that, would I be able to tell anything to you?
So I mean, do you have an ability for that? Is that one of your paladin things, or is it just
No.
Okay.
I originally thought
picked up. Let's say
he meant something else. Sorry, I keep breaking up.
Sean and Marvelous were around the Empire and where the Traveler would have been known. Could either of us make a check?
Yeah, I would say good night, Marvelous and Sean. If you want to make a history check, that's fine.
Who retained the little party flyer from?
There was a check we did earlier the first
That's
time.
right.
I remember Mother
I think
Esme remembered who the traveler was, and she had mentioned it to the group.
Did we specifically talk about the Traveler, though? Because
Yes.
I felt like we did. Okay.
Yeah, because Esme did the voice and everything. And talked about how blue tieflings have never really recovered the
Right.
reputation.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody else failed the role, but she actually succeeded it. So
All right.
Yeah,
Then,
because you were going by Traveler, and now we're going general Archfey knowledge.
Fair
What
enough,
is an
fair enough.
Archfey? Yeah, so that's why.
28.
hell yeah.
All right. So, trying to think of Arch. Yeah, so as a student of wizardry and magic in general, you are definitively aware of the Archfey. Much of what Dewdrop said, kind of this immense power, particularly in their realms, is where they seem to have the most influence. The farther they get away from their realms, the less power they have, though it's still usually fairly substantial. And though they need at least to visit fairly regularly to maintain their connection to the Feywild in order for it to work well. I think, is there anything in particular? Because I think that's where we're trying to go. Because you're trying to go, what is an Archfey? Or
Yeah, all Dewdrop's trying to do is start to put together some context for how he can try to unravel this mystery. And so, like I said, he was a child when he went to the Feywild, and so he doesn't have a ton of extra about it. Okay.
Yeah, I think mostly that their presence kind of hold. So I think one thing with the natural 20 there, the high score 28, there's a lot of thought on the idea that Archfey are born of the Feywild itself, and thus their existence keeps it stable, keeps it active. So they're also primarily in control of portals, though they're also known to be so flippant that portals open up all the time without
Right.
at least their intervention, or they seem not to care, or they choose to forget. They're also known for famously just limiting their power because they grow bored of knowing many things.
It's a good problem to have, I guess.
So they're purposely not access it. I would say if you're trying to determine if the creature you came into contact with, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility with the sudden disappearance.
And thinking about the fact that my family, for generations, they made a business of bringing people back and forth to the Feywild, and I'm wondering if they were doing that with the help or the blessing of some Archfey, and maybe something happened. Maybe there was some problem, or they've somehow upset that Archfey, and that is behind what happened with them. But I don't understand why I came through and no one else did. Okay. Well, thank you.
And you haven't necessarily been back to that area in quite a long time, right?
Right.
Okay.
Dewdrop, we could always, absolutely, we should look into it.
Yeah, it's taking, everything's been happening so fast, and I found out, and we had that crazy night, and all of that happened, and then it's just kind of been one thing after another. And so I as we've been, walking from place to place, I've been thinking about it and trying to figure out what the next move even could be, but I don't have a plan. I have to figure something out. And
Dewdrop, where did your family head to the Feywild the most around from here?
well, we were in the Verdant Expanse is where we were, and that's where mostly we would travel from.
Having recently come into contact with family, I completely understand that need, and I would be thrilled to help you.
Yeah, I think it's maybe more pressing that we figure out what's going on with your mom, maybe.
Well, I can keep in contact with her if you'd, because look, I'm everyone here has their needs, and I think if this is something that you've been thinking a lot about, then it's something we should all try to help you find. And if the scrying didn't work, perhaps we can think of something else. This is a very smart group of people.
Sister Esme, the only way to get to the Feywild is for us to find a portal there.
And I've been looking for 316 years.
Yes, nor me or Dewdrop have that power to get us there yet.
Oh.
Is it unusual? For this figure, Archfey, deity, whatever, to have taken such interest, Dewdrop, that he would, personally provide a message. It would indicate that there is some kind of vested interest at work. They are capricious, but that seems to indicate intent.
Could you try to pray to him?
don't know how.
Mother, could you teach Dewdrop how to pray?
Of course, I'd be thrilled.
Well, I mean, I've talked. Not being a cleric, I've often spoken to, the wild mother when I'm deep in the woods as a sort of, just kind of letting her know that I'm, in her house and, that kind of thing. And I've spoken a lot to the Moonweaver in a sort of general sense. But I don't get the feeling it's the same type of thing that you do, Esme. I feel like it's of a different type, right? Like they don't talk back to me.
Maybe if we found a way, if I could assist you with it, perhaps we could find a way to overcome that, so that you could get answers from your deity.
What if we have a prayer group to him?
Yes.
We all
that's
pray.
a good idea. Yes, we could have. We could have a newsletter, and this would be so much fun.
So this would be a second cult. Is that this is cult number 2?
It's not a cult.
Oh, it's not a cult. Okay.
Bahamut's always open for prayers.
I just don't know how. I don't know how to get an answer from someone, right? And I certainly, I wouldn't want to necessarily. I don't know. Should you pray to some strange archfey that you don't know anything about? Does that seem like a good idea? It seems like poking a hornet's nest a little. But I mean, I could try to talk to the Moonweaver. I don't know, but she's just never said anything back
to you, though. I mean,
it's true. But I mean, that also could have just been a guy, right? Like, I don't necessarily know that they're,
It could have been a guy, but if it was a guy, he left that piece of paper for a reason.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, it just seemed like he was trying to advertise that he's a cool guy. I mean, because that's pretty much all that said, right? That
exactly.
Then, I mean,
why
he
not?
could be anyone, right? Like,
No, I still think it was the traveler, but that could just be my own study.
Dewdrop, why are you so reluctant to try? I mean, we can fail. And there's no terrible consequence. I try to speak to Ayun all the time. She never answers. Hasn't caused me any issues.
I'd be happy to
We
help you.
fail all the time. It's got to be okay.
I'm
Well, in
Still here.
Dewdrop's defense, didn't the mother here try that, and isn't that kind of one of our issues right now we're dealing with?
it did make me a little more nervous that there was a tea lady that showed up one time out of nowhere. That made me a little more nervous about this idea.
I think that's because of connection to my mother, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
But no, and I certainly didn't have to answer her call, but I did, and that was a mistake, and I've learned from that mistake.
But was it a mistake? Because it did lead us to more information and eventually realizing it's your mother.
And it did help me get a really great healing spell, so I can't completely say it was awful.
No, so it didn't work out that bad. It's true.
So, Dewdrop, I mean, there's not really a downfall to trying, at least.
Nothing could go wrong with this. I'm totally down to try it. I just
That's all.
I just don't know how to do it.
We'll teach you. We'll help you. Why don't we start tonight?
Sure.
You'll see Critters open up a blank page to restart a sketch that he's flipped over from the T. He's gonna start one for everybody starting that helping Dewdrop pray.
So above table, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but
No, it can't work, right?
But
There's no way
it
this works.
can I be a conduit in a commune? I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out.
Well, and above table, like in a world where there's lots of different gods, can you just like reach out and touch them sometimes? Like, do you have to be like a committed follower to try to reach out to them? I don't know how any of that would work, right?
That a touch that's appropriate.
I mean, if you have consent, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
But
Well, Marvellus is not going to join in the prayer. He is, however, going to provide music, and he'll play. He'll just kind of strum "Here Comes the Bride."
Nothing ominous about that at all.
No.
The opposite side, you'll hear like the of drums of it from Critters as he's doing the sketch.
So atmospheric all of a sudden.
Yeah, is this Craig? Normally we do that with music and stuff. I don't know.
So Esme is super thrilled. She's going to go take out all of her candles and just get some incense out. It's just like laying everything out there. Got some holy water. And she's going to kind of look at the group and say, okay, we're just going to see if this works. And she is going to attempt to do a ritual casting of commune, attempting to serve as a conduit between Dewdrop and his deity, who I believe is Melora.
Mine is Moonweaver.
Moonweaver, I'm sorry.
And
Moonweaver.
if this will help Matt, I will cast the telepathic bond so that for those two, so at least then it could maybe allow that.
That's interesting.
Okay. So you sit here and Jujap, what sort of things do you put out? Because this ritual, Esme usually uses candles as things that represent light.
Yeah.
And I think at one point she instructs you like what represents your deity, at least to you. This can be very personal, so it doesn't have to be like textbook or anything.
Yeah. So I have a pendant that I wear around my neck that is a kind of a smaller it's Katha in a full moon, and that's what I use because on full moons I try to kind of check in with the Moonweaver. Since she's never said anything back, he kind of just he just kind of does it. It's like a habit, but like he's it makes him feel better, but he's never really thought of it as a connection to this god because it's never been like that, right? It's just kind of like a thing that he does as out of habit. And so I would take that out and kind of use that, and I don't know if I have anything else that would be sort of symbolic of his relationship to her, because he's not even really that sure about his relationship to her.
I would ask this: since I came up in the convent that served multiple deities, would I know anything about the Moonweaver to help him in terms of getting things laid out, or does it have to be something personal to him?
I think the idea here is simply what would Dewdrop come up with.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Like it's not so much like there's not. In other words, it's not really like right answer. This is really Dewdrop. If we say there's three things that Esme tends to lay out, what three things? You got that one, and just what?
I'm gonna pull out one of the Electrum coins that I got on my journey before I met up with you guys. That was from an adventure that I was on, trying to kind of protect some people that were really important to me. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to put out, which is kind of a symbol of his desire to protect the people around him. And then I'm going to pull out the clothing that I had from when I came back through the portal when I was 16 years old and I was by myself. And sort of this is sort of the symbol of his family and sort of the thing that he's missing in his life.
Okay. That was good. Like it. So you lay it out here. And then, Esme, you begin doing what you know of the ritual and try to channel power and what you've heard. Some information about the Moonweaver. some idea of what's going on. And I would say she is helping you, but this isn't your spell. And it's your spells like this are taught from the deities, kind of imparted knowledge directly from the deities to the clerics, not learned in books. So this is this very kind of strange approximation, taking one deity's ritual and trying to apply it weirdly to the other. So what I'll say is you can make a wisdom check. Dewdrop. Yeah, with advantage since Sister Esme here is guiding your process.
Is there any opportunity for me to use a portent, or is this like a private, unwitnessed thing?
I think it's up to Dewdrop.
Dewdrop will take any help that he can get.
19 on the die.
And before she casts this, she would explain to Dewdrop that if this works, he would get 3 questions. And
Okay.
if it also works, how since this is telepathic, I would rather Dewdrop do his questions and just pretend like it's being said through Esme's voice. So he's kind of doing his thing.
Sounds good. And so, what's the total on that?
My wisdom is +5.
So 24. So you grab hands here, and even though you're in the hut, Dewdrop, you feel things get dark. Even Sister Esme begins to grow dim, and you look down, and you still seem to be lit and see yourself. It's when you look up and you see Katha in a position that they have no business being in, above you, shining down this beam of light that seems to only envelop you, giving you a pale color where all else seems dark. And you hear this male voice. I've watched you for her for quite some time. You reach out. You are not her representatives, but I am her proxy to you. Druid of the woods, traveler of plains, your family has kept the magic ways open for so long. I accept your entreat. What do you have to ask our mistress?
Well, thank you for hearing me. I've never done this before. If you don't mind, I would like to know if my family is alive.
Yes, they live, though captured, imprisoned.
Are they in the Feywild?
Indeed. Tied, chained. Their connection to the magic ways are being used in unfortunate ways.
Is this related to...
So your last question.
Yeah. Is this? Oh boy. How can I get there?
Yes or no?
Shit. I'm not good at this. I haven't done it before. Is this related to the traveler?
That vagabond. I saw him talk to you. He made a way. Tried to help your parents. Into Singorn. His passage still exists.
Oh.
If you seek him, he is sometimes there. No. You are of good heart and wise and trickery. You do her name well.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to me.
So good night. And the light fades and the connection breaks and light and color return. And you see where you were kneeling in a small, perfect circle. Grass has a silvery color.
Whoa. Did were you all able to hear that?
Above table, I didn't hear anything because I like booted during all of that. And what were the questions? What were the answers?
So we'll say, for the sake of this, that you guys didn't hear it, and then I reiterate. So, my family is alive. They are in the Feywild, and there's the traveler has a gate that he opened, I think, to get to Singorn, and that he's sometimes there and as a potential kind of lead for us. And he is somehow associated with this, but it didn't seem like in a he's got my family imprisoned kind of way.
This is great news.
This is more than I could have hoped for, I think. Of course, now we still have the trouble of trying to figure out how to get to the Feywild. But
were they there on their own free will?
No, they're imprisoned. Someone's using their magic for nefarious purposes.
Oh, so they didn't just abandon you.
So that's really good news, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, because it was there in the back of my head. It feels like a giant weight's been lifted off me. But
I know exactly what you mean. So all we have to do is get to this Singhorn place, and there's a portal there.
Where's this place located? Is it here on
no, Singorn, I think, is in the Feywild, isn't it?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh,
so it's north of the Verdant Expanse.
Oh yeah, I know where that is because that's where I grew up, in the Verdant Expanse. So I totally know this. Yeah, Singorn's north of there.
Oh, so
how
it's
far
on a
is it?
different continent.
Yeah.
Can we get there in a day?
I can get us there in a day. No problem. It has to be a day after this day that we're in right now, though.
What a shame.
Well, Palin, could you get us there back to Tal'Dorei?
Oh, you mean do I have a
Teleport.
hmm.
Don't you say it?
No, I haven't prepared. I would assume that being from Amon, that Palin has some kind of teleportation sigil somewhere in the city. I don't know.
Did you not choose when you took teleportation circle?
I
You
mean,
get a sigil when you teleport.
yeah. So I would assume. Yeah, I would assume I have the Alabaster Lyceum at least, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Probably makes sense.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, you'd have the Alabaster Lyceum.
Okay. Yeah, I can certainly assist.
But before we start making plans, this is a major derailment of kind of what's been going on.
I appreciate you saying it because
I feel like perhaps we should think about that before we do something.
Before we jump continents?
I just I
Well,
feel like
I
some
guess-
prep time might be necessary.
That was a lot of really, really good information.
Yeah.
Palin, quick, do you have 2 platinum pieces? I've seen how this works before.
I
Quickly,
do not.
before it's too late.
Okay, yes, here.
Okay, great. Marvellus puts that in his pouch, and he says, "Now, what's going to happen is, I'm going to, you only owe me 480 more gold."
I can just pay you now.
No,
Michael.
a little bit at a time is better. It'll make you better for it.
That's very
No
well that you
pressure.
so, but
It's no
it-
pressure. This is a good. It's really good interactions.
very well. Yeah, every opportunity Palin's going to try and sneak more money into Marvellous's point first. But yes, Dewdrop, this does represent a kind of a pivot, a shift.
A pretty big one.
And, affairs are rather catastrophic, urgent currently. Inviting the enmity of a possible archfey may be ill-advised.
So let's just recap. And Goodnight literally starts using his sword as a stick in the ground. And he says, "Step 1.
Love it.
All right,
one.
complete train of thought lost, but let's try again. He draws a stick. So step 1, giant dragon bigger than Bahamut. Step 2, or thing 2.
There's no date on that one, right? Like that one's a.
That's
it's
kind
an
of
open one.
yeah. That was kind of placed on us, I think, more as, hey, we don't want you to kill Sister Esme
Right.
or Mother Esme's mom, so you guys get to handle this dragon now.
Does that make her grandmother Esme his mom?
Well,
Does she-
hold on a second.
Okay.
First off, that's not how that works. It's just a title.
Okay.
And he puts the Mother Esme's mom in number 2, and then says number 3, giant thing from cage trying to break out.
Oh shit! I forgot about trying to destroy the gate. Right? Like that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the accessibility to the third one yet.
Have we told anyone about that? It seems like grown-ups should know about that.
No, but I think they're already trying to kill us over number 2, so maybe
We are the
Imagine.
grown-ups to drop.
Oh, shit.
And then
Poor Matt, we're the worst. How dare we?
I think
Try to
that
keep
what
you
it
on your
comes
toes, man.
down to really is Mother Esme.
and then
Do you-
number 4 is Dewdrop's parents.
It's either Mother Esme's parents or Dewdrop's parents, I think, are the main questions.
Oh,
Or
what a
5
succinct
people
way
trying to
to
kill
position
Donna.
this.
Because the dragon's gonna be there.
Yeah,
And we don't even know where there is yet. The great thing beyond, we have no way to get there yet. And I would like to reunite one of our party's members.
No, poor Matt. Look at the 3 different.
So
we need to retitle our start playing
yeah.
games profile.
Yeah, call it planes, trains, and automobiles.
So,
Matt says it. You're in a forest with 5 trees, and they all turn into ancient red dragons and fire.
I mean, if there's a way we can save Dewdrop's parents, we should. I mean, I don't know how else to express that. If they're
Well,
in trouble,
I agree. Can we, is it possible to like swing by your mom's place and then hit by family's thing?
to swing by my mom's
swing-
place,
Yeah, like I'm
Like-
not sure.
like
Like,
I'm
we just
picking up
stop by?
things, just
You
picking
got
up
laundry
things to go
needing
to
to be done?
a sleepover.
Yeah.
What are we
And
talking
we just
about?
we say hi. We sort of settle some, because you need to know, right? Like if she's a bad person, right?
Yes, I do.
And so we could go there, we could find out, and then we could bounce. I can get us to Singorn in like, no time at all. If we can
Okay.
get to your mom, since we're already all the way here, don't we think she's not that far from here?
We're like in Kansas. If Vasselheim is New York and the Broken Bay is like LA, we're in the like middle of the continent,
Right in
I
the middle.
think, Matt.
Do you have any way to get us closer to
You're muted, Matt.
Try not to make noise. You're roughly 600 miles away.
Okay.
So even by wind walk, that's another 3 days.
Okay.
So I can get us there in 3 days.
And that's just kind of to the Broken Bay. There's a lot of exploring and potential searching to do.
Right.
Or we can go find your parents now.
No, I don't want to sound reluctant to save my family from imprisonment. I don't want that to be what I don't want to hijack the plan. We had some very serious things happening that we need to take care of, and I didn't want to.
There is a couple of matters to consider, including if. I mean, both of our parents sound like they're in trouble. There's no doubt about it. There's.
And then
What is
Good
what is the
Knight's
rest?
just going to drawing the sand as well. Next to Dewdrops equal bad Archfey, and then next to Mother Esme's equal bad God thingy mabobber slash dragon
Takesis.
slash I don't know.
Yeah.
Right, Takesis. She is a problem, or could be.
Yeah, do we even know that she's a problem? We don't even know what her.
Well, I know that my mother warned me about her.
Oh,
But
I don't know what else to say. I mean, in my conversations with her, she was rather pleasant, and she did gift me a very useful ability. and not an evil ability, like a helpful one. I don't know.
Well, if I may be so bold, there's also perhaps an appropriate way to frame our options is that, Dewdrop's family have been imprisoned for 300 years already.
316.
Give or take. Yes, and that's a relatively stable scenario, unfortunate as it may be.
It sounds cold to say, but you're correct.
Oh, is it cold? Oh, my apologies. Whereas, Esme, our dilemma with Awakener is a relatively newer development that is having increasingly catastrophic consequences for all of the continent, it would appear. So perhaps
True.
that should be a priority.
That logically does make sense, yes. Okay. I think it's in our best interest to continue the path forward, and then
Swing by your
immediately
bombs.
go to Singhorn once we've resolved the issue. Do we all agree?
Agreed.
There's also the matter that, whatever we find in the Broken Bay, however this resolves, we may still have sort of permanently introduce some animosity with Bahamut's temple and the Order of the Platinum Dragon Paladins, or whoever's pursuing us. I still wasn't quite clear on exactly why they were so
Maybe we should talk about that.
opposed.
Yeah.
Because they were willing to violate this ancient, cultural
Actually,
pillar.
that brings me to a good point. I've been wanting to do this, and we have a little time before bed. So, yep, right. Look, Shauna pulls out some incense, and she casts legend lore, and we're going to learn about Takesis.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Can I
Story
come
time.
on to this one?
I'll put on another pot of tea.
Are we still linked via the mind thing while she's doing this?
Technically, yes.
Do we think the effects of the spell might be heightened, Shauna, if you were to drink some of the special tea? That would kind of lower your psychic defenses for more vivid.
Well, I think Palin, I think she's looking for more honest or truthful legends than possible imaginations. But I don't know how that stuff works. You can answer that best.
Perhaps we could save it for later.
As Goodnight sips the tea.
Is this something that Palin could be a passenger in, Shauna, for this legend lore?
I
don't actually know how this works.
Spell it pretty much just brings to my mind information about it, so
Oh, fair.
I have no idea if that would work with technically.
I mean, it's up to you. You did learn the. You
Mooncast?
stole them. You
Yeah.
stole that amulet of mooncasting.
Oh,
It's
and
true.
Taylor's totally woven it into his amulet with the holy symbol and the aboleth amulet. He's just blinged out now with New Atari's little coin.
Let's try. We'll sit down together.
Someone get a bucket and then maybe some spare cloth if there's any blood. That's no, it's just last time. Okay.
Okay.
Dewdrop, you actually follow the Moonweaver, right? Here, sit down, join us.
All right. I'm in. I'm really good at this now.
Palin, he can take the other spot we need if we get that other marking.
Oh,
Think about it. We need 3 of them. I have the red, you have the black. Dewdrop looks like he could fit the white.
and just telepathically in Zemnian you hear, but he's not even a wizard, Shauna. Do we want to pollute the spell with enough?
He's our friend.
Am I friends with a druid? And he said that part out loud. Character growth. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay. So the 3 of you are attempting to focus on legend lore.
Yep.
All right. So obviously legend lore work, and with this, because you are trying to approximate the Mooncast ritual without one of the pendants, we'll have Palin and Shauna make intelligence checks, and Dewdrop make a wisdom check, please.
$22.
23.
14.
Oh, Palin.
Typical Palin.
So you see images of a moon outlined by stars, a moon of white, a moon of red, swirl for a moment before there is this breaking, and they seem to fall, not fully able to be attuned with. But then Shauna, her head goes back, her eyes turn white as legend lore activates, and you say what you're looking for?
Tekisis.
Fire and lightning and ice, acid, poison gas blur your vision. And there, standing, black cloak, purple feathers, dark hair, and pale skin as a woman. And she overlooks armies as they trudge across continents. Soldiers are unlike beings you've ever seen. You've seen those of draconic heritage and humanoid. These almost mutated. Various colors, more draconic than human, but still wielding armor and shields and spears. They slaughter all before them. Some move in like spies and hunters, appear behind humans and slit their throats. Still others you see take the form of a human, walk among them, only to poison water supplies. And dragon armies march across already dead land, conquering. And always in the background, smiling, is this woman. Things go forward. You see this woman bound, trapped, but still in this prison that's meant to be perfect, finding cracks where she whispers, commands. You find people forging armor of black to serve her. And then you see Palin's staff, wielded by a golden-skinned man, eyeglass eyes, As he approaches with a woman in white robes, a portal. Each do a series of gestures as it opens to them and they enter the prison. The woman. Time goes by, the endless struggle of this woman trying to escape. And her name is whispered. Takesis, Takesis. And there's a trick. The world is threatened. All the gods flee in an agreement, a promise. But in the shadows, you see only an illusion of the woman leaves with her brethren. Her, sometimes women, sometimes enormous 5-headed dragon. She stays the one god of a world where all gods have fled. This only goes unnoticed for so long before gods find her, true gods of this world. That's when you see a god of light. Some symbols similar to that of the Dawn Father. Both are struck beams from all types of beings. You see light, their eternal essence stripped from them. God of light and a god of darkness, a god of good, a god of evil, reduced to mortal forms. And a sword in the head of Takesis flies off her shoulders. We zoom out. And there is a wisp of soul that travels, finds its way, searching. And then sees a crack. Crack in, it seems, the astral sea itself. The other side, you see a 12-sided flat object. The one holding it is small, you can't make out their features. The hole that is created are able to, this energy, able to slip through. Before bottled by someone and brought to the temple, contained for the moment, until the spell reveals Sister Esme carrying the disc of binding out of the temple. And in the spell, you see walking next to Esme, the woman, Dark One, the one god, the evil mistress, Takesis. And the spell breaks.
Palin, can you hear me?
Palin will respond telepathically. I can hear you fine, but I didn't see anything.
I know.
Do you think it was because we had the druid? Sorry, what?
Takesis, I've learned a lot about her.
So what's the verdict?
She's here with us right now.
Goodnight pulls his sword and
Can we all hear this? Because wasn't telepathy cast on everyone? I don't know if we can all
You
hear
can choose to go one to one. It's not always a
okay.
group chat.
Yeah, just
You gotta,
checking.
there's
Fair
group
enough.
chat function. There's peer to peer. Just
I had
kinda,
no
you know.
idea. So it's just
Yo.
checking.
Sorry.
You think I should we have to let everyone know, don't we?
When you say she's here, you mean
I think Mother Esme has a disc with her that is allowing her to. So long story short, you know Tiamat, right?
yes, familiar.
Think of like a different version of her from a different world where the gods left, but she was left. And when they went, gods came to slay her, and her divinity and her essence left her body. In that world, there was a crack in the world of Exandria, from which I think might be Dunamancy related, allowed her to slip herself here to this world.
Fascinating. Do you think it would be possible for us to travel back through the crack? Oh, right. Sorry.
That's
God,
not
evil
yeah.
god here. Right. Yes. Terrifying. Thrilling. Do you have any sense of her abilities here on this plane? Is she?
I don't. That's why I think Mother Esme would be the best to know. I mean, we have to let the group know, but just
We do.
watch Goodnight. I'm afraid he likes swinging that weapon around a little much.
Oh, Palin will ready Wall of Force surreptitiously. Well, do you think there's any potential for us to be secretive about this disclosure, or would this Takesis already know that we're?
I don't know. I mean, I could go 1-to-1 and start telling everybody, but
Here now. To access not just another plane, but another world.
oh god, okay. And then everyone's gonna hear in the group chat everything we learned. Before the last part, though, before I tell everyone about Takesis being here, I'm going to look to Mother Esme and be like, "Did you take something with you that's a plate-like from the temple?"
Yes, you all saw me take it.
Yes. I think she's with us.
Who's with us?
Who do you think? The one you spoke to?
It's possible, yes.
No, she's with us. I saw her leave in my vision with us when you took that plate.
Well, right. I know. She did say something like that. She did say before. Well, okay. Look, it all happened very fast, and I was talking to her, and she was a really nice person at the time. You have to understand. And she didn't ask for anything, and so I asked her. I said, can I do anything for you? And she said, well, because she was trying to help me find my mother, and she said she might be able to help me find her a little better if I took the plate out, because she said it would give her more access to. Oh, I guess I can see that now. But just so you know, I asked Paylor about it. I asked Paylor if I should return it. I asked Paylor if I should destroy it. Paylor told me that I had to keep it with me because it was a burden, and I think the understanding was if I left it somewhere, if I tried to get rid of it, then it would possibly free her. I can't get rid of it.
All right. So let me just get this straight. You have the.
Just to verify, Esme, did you say that to everybody or just Shauna?
No, I thought I was talking to Shauna.
Yes.
If I understood correctly, Shauna direct messaged
I
me.
told everybody about Isis and everything except the last part.
Okay.
Right.
And
Sorry.
just Mother Esme about the plate because she didn't want everyone to freak out that
Okay.
Takesis.
That's all good. It can get very confusing. I just want to make sure. Cool.
Yeah, sorry, that was above table that I was
Yeah.
flailing.
Okay, so that's what I would answer with to
Well-
Shauna.
Mother Esme, this
Mhm.
is something we can't hide from the group.
No,
And I think
I didn't mean to. I thought everyone saw me take the plate, and
no,
but-
I believe that part. It's the part about there's a god from a different world that's been traveling with us, and you have possibly the only thing keeping her from taking over this world.
right, yes,
That
that
part.
is okay. That
Well,
yeah,
would that be why they sent the Knights of Bahamut of you?
I don't know. I don't know. I did wait. I mean, I guess wait. Let me think back. I don't remember if I mentioned it or not.
Did you mention Takesis to him?
Well, I don't remember if I said Takesis. I might have.
You said Takesis.
I did say Takesis. I absolutely did. I remember it very vividly. All of a sudden, I absolutely did say Takesis. Yes, but I
If they
didn't think they.
knowledge about this. Well, I mean,
I don't think they knew.
Bahamut is Tiamat's relation. I could only imagine that there was probably a relation. If this is any aspect of what we know as Tiamat from our world, there must have been that version of Bahamut there too.
As you're talking, you believe that probably was the person, the other one of good confined to a mortal body. That
Yes.
You saw. You can put that together.
So then, yes. Who?
Wait,
That
what?
yes. That means that they would. That's why they're after us.
Because of the disc.
Well,
The
I mean,
plate?
you are carrying around something that would represent their idea of what they. Well, let's ask Mr. Goodnight what his order feels about Tiamat, and you can find out from there. Just in your mind, Sister Esme, keep Tiamat is Takesis.
Okay.
Good night.
Yes.
How do you feel about your order? Feel about Tiamat?
Just checking and verifying, GM. Goodnight would be very familiar with Takesis.
No, not Takesis, but Tiamat. You know.
I mean, Tiamat, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is the absolutely and it is the exact opposite of everything that Bahamut stands for and is for, and is pretty much about as evil as you can get. Most of their supporters, we have a order of either arrest or let's just say put down. Normally things go very bad whenever you start getting them involved. I mean, and normally things happen, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. We really try and stay away from him. Takesis is probably the only thing that is equal to power level of Bahamut. And Bahamut was able to barely defeat it the first battle.
Oh, nice.
So why do you ask?
Well, I mean, obviously, I told you everything about Takesis, and that is a version of Tiamat, just not in our own world. Remember how I was saying before how that big green dragon had different aspects of itself everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens if a god had different aspects of itself everywhere? It's the same idea. But it chose a name on this other world.
All
Instead
right.
of calling herself Tiamat, she called herself Tikhisis. She's not our Tiamat, of course, but she is our ideal Tiamat. And
So as we're all sitting around looking at each other and nobody knows what's going on, Marvellus will just shake his head, walk outside, and do a watch.
well, Mother, I think it's best if you would like to let everyone know.
I'm gonna be sick, and she gets up and she leaves the tiny hut after hearing all of that, and now thinking she's going to be put to death. And she has no idea what's going on anymore. She's leaving the hut.
Alan's tapping his head as though like he has bad reception. He's like, are you all hearing something? I'm not. Are we going outside now?
I'm going to bed. I don't even sleep. I'm just gonna sit here and stare. No, I'm taking off the ambulance and going to bed.
I feel like we skipped some steps.
No, this is totally on you for this group.
Shattering Revolution. And then we discuss, question mark, and now disperse, sleeping. Dewdrop, if you could explain what you know so far, then I could help clarify what's actually going on, if you need help making sense of all this.
With regard to the evil dragon that's in our hut?
Yeah, whatever's going on. But if there was something that you missed and you needed me to help clarify, I'm available.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, no, this all makes perfect sense to me.
Great.
We've got an evil god in a plate, and the good guys are after us because we've got an evil god on a plate. It's perfectly clear to me.
I mean, while the evil god's on the plate, I wonder if it's vulnerable to any tinkering.
But do you think
Maybe
the
I'll
evil
have some of
god
that
has
tea
been
if we're
listening
going.
to us? Like, since we've had the plate with us, are they aware of all the things that are happening?
Oh, most likely.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
No, she's not. Oh, that's right. And Shauna, you don't even sleep. So what are you? Oh, I mean, if she's powerful enough to exert influence beyond the confines of the prison in the first place, which is how she was able to communicate with Esme, then.
At this point, Goodnight would like to insight check.
Shaku.
Who are you inciting?
Just this interaction, I feel Goodnight would be very interested with what's going on and
everything now. So,
well,
I mean, I would say I think he looks and everyone's being really honest and true about what they're saying.
okay.
As sort of crazy to Goodnight, it might seem.
I mean, yes, Goodnight. We have a god that's traveling with us. They're probably, I mean, think that they're watching us like a TV show thing, or like a play. Right now, because they don't really have much control yet, I hope. I mean, I'm not strike dead yet, or breathe fire on, or anything else, so... I'm hoping that maybe they're confined into the plate, and think of us as protectors.
Sure. As Goodnight takes his shield and goes over to the corner and starts polishing it and praying to the Bahamut for guidance and what is going on here right now? What do you want me to do?
So I would say Esme walks out. Marvellous is there. Anything happen to you?
Marvellous will just say, worst church service ever.
Yes, I would agree. Absolutely would agree with that. Completely. Marvellous.
Yes.
I know that you don't like Nicodranus.
I love Nicodranus.
Oh. You just didn't... I mean, when we were there, I just didn't get that feeling. You seemed like you didn't want to be seen.
True. But I love Nicodranus.
Oh, do you like observing it, like, invisibly?
Well, it's kind of like Vasselheim. The city itself was fine, but some of the people didn't like us.
What sort of people?
Well, the ones that chased us out of town.
Oh.
So you can say that's what Nicodranus is for me.
Was it people at your shows? I've always found your shows delightful. I can't imagine people.
Well, not everybody has as good a sense of humor as you do.
That's very kind of you.
It's just true.
I just find your life just seems so interesting. You get to go out and make people smile and feel good and laugh. I'm sure you're probably filled with thousands of stories.
Yes, but you have your stories too.
Well, most of mine are very much secluded to one place in time, usually tending to gardens or praying or learning and spending a lot of time alone reading, but not very exciting.
Well, I would say the last few weeks has been rather exciting.
That's quite true.
And that's all life is the experiences you have, weave them together and recount it.
How many places have you been?
I guess throughout Wildmount.
Have you ever been to this Singhorn place?
No.
I was just curious.
I've heard tell of it.
You have?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Matt, would I know just general information? The city of
Yeah.
Elves. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you know it's an elven city.
Yeah, it's city of elves. Mostly, the predominant race there's elves.
Is it like Vasselheim, or is it more different culturally, or is it
I think from what I've heard, It has its own cultural stamp. There are similarities, but there's differences to all the cities that we travel in when you have large populations of people.
Well, I very much look forward to seeing it. I mean, other than Vasselheim, I mean, most of the places we've been have been smaller, which has been nice. I rather liked some of the places we've been, but when we got to Nicodranus, I just found that it was so different. It looked different. It felt different. There was just so many places I would have loved to have seen there, but I know we couldn't stay. So I guess I'm just hoping maybe when we get to Singhorn, maybe there's things to do there, maybe cultural things, or just learning from the people and seeing what types of industries they're into.
Yes, we'll take in what we can take in. The Nicodranus trip was rather quick and sudden, so I have to admit I really wasn't prepared for it. But we can prepare and learn and add to the stories we get to recount.
Oh, just so you know, I'm sure the others know this by now. So I'm carrying around with me a plate that apparently an evil goddess is watching us through all the time.
Without breaking eye contact, change of the demeanor, Marvellus just says, sounds about right.
Right.
But it's nothing we can't handle.
I think you're right. We've taken on giants and all sorts of things, and I'm sure we can handle whatever it is. And so, why don't I help you keep watch?
Sounds good. And Marvellus will turn away, and his eyes will just kind of bulge. And then he'll just turn back around like normal.
And
What's the weather like out here, Matt? Is it still the kind of the marsh swamp type area?
yeah, it's still marshy land. It's getting a little colder. But all right. Anything from those inside the bubble?
I think sheepishly, Palin will amble his way over to Dewdrop. Is that the specialty still on offer?
Absolutely. Would you like me to brew a pot up?
I would love that. Thank you.
I will very carefully brew a pot of the vision tea that Dewdrop carries around with him.
Okay.
I will.
Keep going, Deidre.
Okay. I will pull out a different cup from my mess kit. This one's kind of like it's like carved out of obsidian. It's like black reflective almost rock, and I'll pour some of the tea into that and say, so the idea, it's helpful if you go into this with a question in mind, and then just see what kind of answer you get.
Does the cup have special significance? It's kind of ominous looking.
Oh no! It just looks cool. It sells the vibe, you know. And so it's totally about aesthetic.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dewdrop. I'm grateful, and I'm glad we got some good news about your family today.
Thank you very much.
Mm. Palin's gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
That was it.
Well, Palin will make a real grand display out of like fluffing out his mimic cloak, making himself very comfortable, taking off his half plate, and then down the hatch with the funny tea.
Genuinely, Matt, I just had this as like hallucinogenic tea that Dewdrop keeps with him for emergencies. Like, so I have no idea how you want to do that.
Thank you. Okay.
I have really high constitution. Maybe nothing will happen.
Yep.
Would he be within 10 feet of me? Because I know it's a tiny hut.
Oh, he would be. I mean, that would be.
He would also get +5 if he has to make any saving throws because of Paladin.
I'm not feeling anything. Just not feeling anything.
Can't get higher on Paladin.
So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 17.
Team. You drink this. It's earthy and feels a little woozy, but doesn't really do much for you. Kind of just get it off, and it does help kind of get your mind at ease a bit. What are you trying to think over?
I think Palin is focusing very deeply on this staff and its strange otherworldly nature. And he's thinking about all these possibilities of travel and access to other worlds.
You kind of look at it, and whether it's from the steam rising from the tea, kind of as you hold it, you see another person's hand, then another, and another different hand, another different hand. And just occasionally, it's not all at once, but you just see different hands in different places. Like it's been handed off for a long time. And yet, there's something about it that even with what you've been able to find out seems more to discover. And you do know you can channel your magic through it.
I think furtively, Palin will try something really unobtrusive. Well, I don't know how obtrusive it is, but it has light. I can cast light with it, like as a charge. So I think he would reach out and just a very modest little glow at the tip.
And roll the d20.
That is a 3.
Right. The crystal lights up and provides a bright light within the place. And just as it lights up, for a moment you see a woman's face staring at you. And then it's gone.
Drunkenly, Palin will kind of like grasp at this face.
Nothing there.
Muddle to like look back at the tea over at Dewdrop, over the tea, assuming it hadn't had any effect on him, but now he's kind of rethinking that.
Did you see anything?
There was a face of a. Did I recognize the woman's face, Matt? Had I seen her before?
No.
No. I thought I saw something, but I don't know. It's been an exhausting day. I should probably just get to bed.
All right. Good night, Balin.
Good night, Dewdrop. Thank you again.
Dewdrop will clean up the tea to make sure no one accidentally drinks it. And he will head off to bed.
Critters, I've noticed you've been sketching all night. Can I see what you've drawn?
You'll see the prayer being all finished out after hearing all the different details that were told from the legend lore. You'll see Mother Esme, Shauna, and Palin all kneeling, and Marvellus in the back corner playing his song. And you'll see the plate that Mother Esme has, and then on it you'll see the 5-headed dragons of Tiamat. And well, this is from what we just did, and then he'll flip back over to the pot, the campfire and the pot brewing, with just hands of Dewdrop and Palin right there. Or good night from the tea from earlier. And these are all just outlined with charcoal, no paint yet. Just quick sketches from the night that he's shown.
What do you think about all this, Critters? You don't talk much.
Well, is Tiamat gonna be a bother on that plate?
Well,
can she do much?
I think her name's Takesis, and I don't think, I don't know for sure, but I believe, as far as I hope, she's just controlled by the plate. Her powers are, at least. So as long as nothing happens to it.
And then, if this is why they're after us, why don't we just turn it over? I understand that there might be a following for her, but is it better to let someone else larger than us to take care of them if they're out to end our world in such a way? I mean, they led us to the gates. That was scary enough as is.
But like Sister or Mother Esme said, Paler has told her it's something that she has to carry. So maybe we are the protectors of the plate. Maybe it is something that falls upon our burden on our shoulders.
You'll see critters just start thinking about that more, and then go into the Feywild. I don't want to really go to the Feywild. I hear terrible stories about the Feywild.
I would like to go to this place called Singorn, though. I've always wanted to meet more people like me. More of my family.
Did you not meet many in Uthadern?
Uthadern, there was a few, but they were so recluse. They kept to themselves, and well, the party that I was traveling with at the time was always busy, and I had to keep an eye on them for a little while. But I'm always in search for more elves like me. If you notice, not a lot of elves have the pale skin and the pale hair.
I was going to ask, but is that just something happened to you, or is that how you were born?
That's how I was born. I think it's something from my people. Stories that I remember as a child, before everything that happened, was that we were touched by the Moon Weaver herself and blessed by her.
God's always meddling within the races.
Yes, I'm sure you know that since the stories of your people and the Raven Queen.
Yes, it's quite sad, but it gives us at least our dreams, and then he's just gonna start hovering with the bugs floating in the air. I mean, it's slow, but at least it's something.
Well, keep up your artwork. It's something I enjoy seeing. And one day we'll have to get your books published.
What does that mean?
It means the whole world will be able to see your art, critters. People from Taldore to Wildmount to the people even here on Isilra.
We're gonna have to pick up more books then.
Yes, more books and paper.
All right. Then sounds like eventually everyone gets to their sleep and completes a long rest. And we're going to go ahead and take our break. Be back in a bit.
Ooh, that was a lot. Woo.
I know.
Dude, no joke.
Marathon RP. Ooh.
All right, time to get on back here. All right, so you wake up from your long rest.
Esme, first thing in the morning, will go ahead and take out her sending stone, and we'll just go ahead and send her mother a message. Good morning, Mom. It's Sorrow. How are you? Have you had breakfast yet? Was it good? Can't wait to hug you. I love you. Bye. That's 25 words.
Sorrow. Do not come here. It would not end well. A path have been separate. Should likely stay the same. So,
So she'll put that away.
Did we see Esme just roll over and hop on her?
He might have. I don't think she's keeping it a secret. So
Okay. Any updates? Anything she had to share?
Oh, she, well, she said to something about paths and about distance, but she didn't tell me what she had for breakfast. So I was hoping to find out what her favorite meals are, and maybe plan like a little picnic or something.
Poison? Oh, yes.
Yeah, when we meet. Isn't that what people do?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she doesn't really sound that happy about seeing me, but that could just be in my head.
Maybe she's busy talking to somebody.
Well, somebody's audio's
Maybe she's busy talking to somebody in a meeting or something.
Yeah, I mean, she might have had somebody on the other line, and that's very possible.
It's so hard to convey tone through the sending stones.
Right. You can't really... You can't just go by the words, right?
Exactly.
I mean, she just said, stay away, don't come here. But I don't think she really meant that. I think she's just nervous about meeting me.
Well, we could see what she's doing.
I don't want to spy on her. I feel like that would... I don't know. Is that something people do? Like maybe they spy on their mom and...
I mean, you're trying to find her favorite food out, so it's not like a bad thing.
That's a good idea, actually.
Could I see your ball? I could try.
Yeah.
Okay. Shauna's gonna cast Scrying. I've foreseen this. She gets a natural 1.
I love it.
you focus on the ball, and your vision focuses hard, almost zooming in on the images contained there. You see through this orbular view, and there is a woman loose-skinned. She's cutting into some bread that looks like it's a soft type, the harder crust. She seems to have some butter soft next to her that she pours some honey in and mixes it, spreads it gently upon it. Begins to eat. Oh, there's some type of nut contained in the bread. And as she does this, she absentmindedly is pouring over runes, spell recipes, inscriptions, and it's almost draft-like paper, and she erases and writes again. And you look, it looks like it would be complete, but it's as though she's obsessing, trying to get it perfectly correct, making little changes, improving. Writes down some equations, attempts to go at it again.
Is there any chance I could see or make out what she's trying to work on?
I'm gonna kind of check.
That is a dirty 20.
First, looks like it's basic charm, but it seems to keep getting redoubled upon itself. It's inscriptions, something that would likely go on an item that would give control over it, but more than that, and you'd expect that from what you've been doing, it seems to her work. She's retracing power lines. Seems to be concerned with primarily two things. One, figuring out the way to make this arcane enchantment take the least amount of power, which requires the most efficient, angular, and the best calculations. When you're doing this, doing the spells, a lot of ways to achieve the similar effects, but to be precise can sometimes even lower the level of a spell, or in this case, the amount of energy required to maintain an item. So she seems overly obsessed with that, trying to get it to take less and less energy. And to the point where it seems she's trying to get it to work off of a creature's own residual energy, much like an item that is cursed and attuned, that would go on and then just operate off of the ambient energy of a creature. Other thing that she is going is the more complex type of creature. And she shot way past humanoid in this. And you recognize past the idea of giant. And with the dirty 20, here's what she is actually working on, is how one would attune this inscription to be put on an item that could affect a titan.
Oh, God. And once the crying comes to an end, Sean's be like, well, your mother likes honey and butter and bread.
Honey, butter, and bread.
Like a multigrain, like with nuts and oats in it.
Was it like a brand thing, or?
I just looked very... Like there was some good nuts in the bread. Like it was multigrain.
Well, how was the bread made? Was it prepared, or was it?
Can you bake bread, sister? Or mother?
Well, yes.
Maybe you could make her some bread.
Okay. Or what kind of bread? I'll write it down.
Multi-grain.
Multi-grain. Okay. And
Honey butter.
honey butter. Okay. And she seemed to like it?
Yes, she seemed to actually enjoy it a lot.
Was the honey a particular color? Did you get a whiff of the smell?
I don't get the smell part. It's not really included. But I did also get to see what she's working on.
Oh, I'm sure that's wonderful, but what kind of jar was it in?
How about we make our own? I'm sure Dewdrop can help you with that.
Really?
As a matter of fact, I can. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But sister, I have another thing. You see, your mother's she's very invested in creating these magical items, allowing her to control other creatures. Correct?
Right.
You have a magical item that's very powerful that allows you to control other creatures.
Correct.
Now, if we wanted, you could let on that you have this and that you were trying to bring it to her to study it, but it would give us an in where we could at least be able to get there.
You want me to lie to her?
Well, it's not a lie.
That's what kids do
We
to
are
their
going to
parents.
see her, are we not? And it is up to you if you want her to look at it yourself. That's totally your call.
Right.
Also, is it a lie? I'm very curious. I'd love to hear more about her techniques.
But there's only one reason I would suggest this. Now, see, what she was trying to make a collar for. You remember that big mountain-like thing in Vasselheim that was standing over it like a giant titan?
Yes.
Now imagine if you could put a collar on that.
I see.
That's
So-
what Mom was working on, or trying to.
So you think if I tell my mother about my collar, maybe she'd want to see me?
It might give her more of an inclination to want to see you. Because you have something that, in her eyes, would help her in her work.
Okay. I guess I can tell her that in the morning. I'll also try to see if I can get any clues about the bread and honey.
I think she was happy she heard from you, too.
She
She had a
was?
smile on her face. Yes, totally.
She had a smile?
Oh no.
Really? That's wonderful. I
Mother
knew
Esme,
it.
Mother
Yes.
Esme, are you going to be okay if this goes badly?
Not at all. But if she had a smile on her face, there's nothing to
Okay.
worry about.
Oh well, at least there's that. Yep. Okay.
Well, if we have to kill her, Esme, will you help us?
Palin!
Is that what you meant? That's what you.
No,
Kill
that's
her.
not what I meant.
That was
Exactly.
not the
Who
question.
wants to kill?
Oh.
Palin likes to go off in some little world.
Palin, I don't appreciate jokes like that.
Ignore it. Was,
But what if it turns out that she's a bad person
If she's a bad person.
and we go there? I'm a little worried that in your optimism, you're thinking we're going to arrive and everything's going to be wonderful, and there's a very real possibility that we could arrive and they're just a terrible person and they're doing bad things. And
No, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. It's going to be fine. I know that it's going to be fine. Otherwise, why would I have met up with her like this? Everything is pushing in this direction. It wouldn't make sense for me just to show up and her to be exactly all these things people keep saying she is, which I don't believe in my heart at all. I mean, you heard from Shauna. I spoke to her and it seemed to brighten her day. I think I'm going to have a positive effect. Maybe if I just keep doing what I'm doing and talking to her every day, I mean, she's still talking back, and that's great, right?
That's a good sign. Yep.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Exactly.
fine.
Because if she didn't want to see you, she would just not respond at all.
Right. Well, I'm going to go outside a minute and get some fresh air, and this is wonderful. And so she's just gonna step out of it.
God.
Maybe go look for some nuts.
Okay.
And a beehive.
Shauna,
Yes.
with the scry,
Yes.
I'm not sure how it works, but can somebody be scrying on us without us knowing it?
Actually, let me check real quick. Sean's going to cast the invisibility. Do I see anything around us, Matt?
You see a woman in a black cloak walking after Esme.
Oh shit!
Just let me pass over that. Do I see anything else?
Make a perception check.
That is a 19.
See what looks like a platinum dragon eye glowing and floating
Oh no.
right above Goodnight.
Of course they are. I am going to cast spell magic at 5th level.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't incorrect, Marvelous. They were watching us. Well, not us per se. They were watching our good friend who happens to be associated with the Oath of Bahamut. Good night. That's your order. I think is keeping an eye on us, or at least you.
That wouldn't surprise me any.
And on to the other thing. You know, when I said Takesis is around us, she
Yeah.
really is. Well, I
In
mean,
the
she's
plate.
Ron's sister.
Like in
mother,
plate,
she-
right?
Yeah, like she just wandered off after.
You mean outside of the plate?
Well, I mean, she's walking. So,
But I was under the impression that, like, maybe she could see through the plate, or, you know, she was inside the plate. You're
maybe
saying
she's,
she's just walking around?
maybe she's like projecting herself so
But
she can see outside of the plate.
So,
we should probably check
I
on
don't
Esme.
know. How often can you do that scry theme, Bobber, and spy on people like you do sometimes?
Normally only a few times a day. It's high level magics, so it drains me more if I use it, and I can't use it as much.
Okay.
And they're not watching us no longer. I made sure of that.
Well, it wouldn't be a horrible idea when you get a moment to try and. Doesn't have to be a day today, but eventually we should probably just see what my captain is thinking or doing in case they are planning to launch an assault at us, because with the knowledge that I have, and the fact they were watching, thankfully everything yesterday you said in our minds, but they have to have a good knowledge of what's going on to be as attackful as they are, and they're not just going to let an evil like that go on without sending people after it.
Can you hear with the scry? Are you able
Yes.
to hear what they say? Oh, good. Okay, so we need code words from now on. No more saying the T word.
Yes,
Maybe-
no more talking about tea.
Yeah,
We should no longer talk about tea.
yeah. Okay, so that's the code word now for T is T. Got it. I'm gonna run outside and check on Esme, and I just like dash out.
I would actually like. Yeah, I follow him.
Esme, what are you up to?
She was looking to see if there were any bee nests.
Yeah. Make a nature check.
All right. It's a 14.
Look and notice little code. You are able to see there is a hive that's about 15 feet up on a tall tree.
Okay. So I'm just kind of like staring at it, I guess, when they come up.
Mm-hmm. As you're looking at it, you hear a voice you don't recognize from behind you. Excuse me.
Yes?
You turn and there's a young man, rather muscular, has hides for clothing on, and has exploration type of pack and gear. Sorry, just saw you staring at the hive there. Is it something you wanted?
Oh, I just woke up this morning and I guess I've just been thinking about making honey, and I didn't want to disturb the bees, of course. I thought, well, I don't know what I thought. I don't know a lot about bees in winter, so
I could want me to get up there for you? Harvest some?
Oh, do you harvest it?
Well, I know how to.
Well, obviously, I'd be happy to pay you.
This is fine. Believe you do good for others. It'll come back to you, right?
That's quite true. Yes.
Very good. And they climb on up, and you see, kind of get on up. They kind of have their back to you a little bit, and you kind of see them take a small tool. They kind of begin carving in the top of it very gently, and there's this almost like smoke. And after a little bit, you come down, and now about all you arrive, and you see this young man kind of hit the ground and and you see he's taking some of the bees that were in the comb and put it in, and kind of have this whole comb, and he kind of so let me, I think I have some cloth I can put this in. I don't know if you have a glass or something.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. That was so kind of you, and I'm going to take out something to put that in.
Dewdrop, you come up at this point.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Kep.
Kip.
And who's the pleasure I have of serving honey?
Well, my name is Esme. These are my friends, Dewdrop and
Dewdrop.
Shauna.
Sean, pleased to meet you. Kind of sees Shauna and bows deeply and kisses her hand.
I would like to insight check Cap.
Okay.
For any kind of ill intentions, but I'm just marveling at their honey harvesting skills instead. I rolled a 10.
Shaw's like not even paying them attention, but like trying to look past for a certain invisible deity.
Yeah.
Oh, do you still have it up?
It's up for an hour.
Okay.
But like sort of out of the corner of my mouth to Shauna, it's like, is that tea? Looks fairly harmless.
Where are you from? Is there a town, a settlement around here?
Oh, I mean there are. Actually from Caracas, but I've been traveling, sort of on my own, exploring a bit.
Well, that's delightful. I mean, if you'd like to join us on our walk, I mean, I'm certain no one here would mind.
Would that be all right with all you?
I mean, Shauna, does Shauna see anything? Dewdrop's super suspicious right now.
As you're looking with see invisibility, make a perception check.
I'm going to be doing a not related to that, a perception check, just looking for danger elsewhere, if that's all right.
So that will be a 16, because I'm using my balance ability to make it a 10.
Okay. You use that. And as you're looking around, you just glance down and you see a metal female boot next to yours, like as if someone's standing behind you, directly behind you.
I'm going to whisper. So at least I don't want I'm hoping no one else will hear me, but I want to try to whisper to her. Can you hear me and understand everything I'm saying?
Of course. And if you break my niece's heart, I'll kill you.
Oh, shit.
I won't. Don't worry, Dewdrop. The person's not hurt.
All right, sweet. Yeah. Oh, yeah, come on along. It's cool.
Well, tell us all about yourself. I mean,
not to tell, really. Like I said, grew up and decided to see a little bit more of this fine continent.
Are you from Isilra?
Yeah, it's just up the village a little north of here. And probably 2 days journey. I think I got a little lost. I've been traveling for 3 days. I think I've traveled 2 days. But I do know how to get honey.
well, I'm sure we can help you. You said you're lost. Can we help you get back?
I'm not really trying to get back, just exploring. I'm just saying, I think I went in a circle somewhere in there.
Oh. Well, I mean, we're basically exploring too, to be honest with you.
Great. I mean, if you don't mind, I would be happy to have company and friends.
Sure. Why don't we introduce you to everyone?
Does my 28 pick up any regular danger, anything weird in the scene around?
She did a 28 roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
28.
You look around, and you see, you don't pick up anything that's dangerous. I see what you do notice though is the footprints that he leaves seem to put all the weight on the front of the foot, as if he's not walking on his heels.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to just now, because I've noticed that, I'm going to try to watch and just see if I notice anything about the person as they move around going forward. I'll just kind of be keeping an eye on, see if there's strange things about them, but that'll be as we proceed.
Yeah.
Well, you've got the honey. That was step one. I guess maybe we could hit the road.
Yes, we're on a mission to make bread for my friend's mother.
It must sound rather boring.
That's me.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, where's his mother? Yours?
Well, I don't actually know, but I
Oh.
have faith that we'll find her.
Very good. Well, right. So we keep going then.
Yeah, do you know to find some good nuts around here?
Looks like I found some. I mean, no, just kidding. This little explorer's humor for you. Sorry.
Esme's going to insight check that.
It turns out, yes, in fact, we are crazy.
Good sight check.
23.
23. He was making an attempt at humor.
Okay. That's funny.
Okay. Dewdop's gonna turn around and start heading back.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead this strange person back to meet everyone. Oh, and that's Ozzy, by the way.
I can always forget about that dog.
This appears out of nowhere sometimes.
As he growls at Pep. Oh.
He growls.
Oh, nice. Nice
What's
dog. Nice thing.
He doesn't usually do that.
Yeah. I'm a stranger after all. I mean, he's protective of you.
Has Ozzy ever growled at anyone before?
No.
Oh. Okay, so now Esme actually has a reason to be suspicious. That's rather odd. So, what did you say you were from again?
Those you. Carcass up north.
Can I insight check that?
Sure.
And have I heard of that place?
17.
You've heard of it. You've never been there. You don't think he's from there? I think he's telling
Really?
the
I thought you said something else. Actually, we've been to that town.
Oh, have you? It's nice,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, it is. We actually met quite a few people there. Who do you know?
Really? Really? Did you meet Mary?
Mary? Which Mary?
Which Mary? Let's see here. This would be Mary with. Well, this right. I guess the Mary I was thinking of. You're right. There are like 4 Marys. The Mary I was thinking of didn't have any teeth on the left side.
No teeth on the left side.
Did she have the thing with the eye? The weird thing with the eye? Is that Mary?
No, that's just her eyes.
Oh, all right.
Oh wait, no. You mean okay? There was a Mary we didn't speak to. She had red hair, kind of green.
No, she's got black hair.
Black hair.
Right. I guess maybe you missed Mister.
What does she do there?
Oh, she's a apothecary. She makes some medicines.
We spent a lot of time at the apothecary. That's weird.
How is she get ill?
Well, I wasn't ill, but one of our friends were.
Right. So, but she wasn't ill. Otherwise, you would have seen her. Or, I don't know.
Oh, so she doesn't look that she's sick?
I mean, if she wasn't there, like you said she was.
All right. Enough games. Who are you really?
You've never been there.
I'm Pep.
You're not from that town.
Okay, maybe my joke was spot on. I don't know. Let me just tell you what. I'll just go.
Wait,
Getting a little weird. Getting creepy. Getting
What?
a bit creepy.
look. I don't trust a lot of people's judgments, but I do trust Ozzy's.
Gotcha. You know what?
Why don't
Glad you enjoy the honey.
No, I'm going to pay you for the honey.
You got it. Whatever you want.
So I'm going to go ahead and hand him. I'll give him 10 gold for the honey.
Off their hand. Takes that.
Here you are. I hope that's fair.
Whatever you say. And very worriedly kind of backs off and starts to kind of make their way away from your group. And walking away.
I had a bad feeling about him. Well, Ozzy had a bad feeling. I just backed him up.
Why'd you
Something
pay
did-
him?
Well, because it was fair. He did give me the honey.
Two drop as you're paying close attention. You see there's Russian stuff, and as they kind of turn, you see Brush that's a good like foot away from him get like pushed.
Listen, we need to move, everyone. We
Okay.
need to get back to the gang, and we need
Let's
to go
go.
now. Go to leg it.
Yep.
Don't get why you guys are freaking out. And Shauna's just gonna walk back for nuts. Rolled, 11 on insight. She's so oblivious.
yeah.
to vision. So she's like, where are these stupid nuts for this bread?
You turn to camp.
Okay, that was crazy. All right, where's Shauna? I swear Shauna was with us a second ago.
I think she's getting some nuts.
Can we keep it down, or are we leaving?
Hey,
Okay.
we just met a very weirdo in the woods. Your typical woods weirdo. Esme, they were disguised. They were actually much bigger than they were. They were somehow magically disguised, and their footprints were not anatomically correct for the critter that they were presenting themselves as.
Oh.
So something was definitely going on, and I really wish I could see Shauna.
Well, I mean, they seem perfectly fine, but then Ozzy growled at them, so you know something was up.
Yep, that and the things that I saw too. Yep,
Well,
those
sure.
are all things that are bad, and I think that person probably had ill intention.
But mostly what Ozzy thought.
Mostly it was the dog. It was the dog.
Where is Shauna?
I'm gonna think really hard. Not sure if the telepathic connection is still working, so I'm gonna be like, Shauna!
It's totally not working. And she's
Okay.
a little bit nuts.
I'm yelling in my head, like, ah!
Shauna, make a nature check looking for those nuts.
I will use my magical balance. That's a 15. I'm searching.
So you dig up and you're able to just observe where there's a little bit of disturbed earth, and you find a little squirrel cache
Nice.
where there's some nuts that have been buried.
She reaches down, grabs some, and then she pulls out one of those apples that she had from that tree and places it there. Those magical
Oh.
apples.
Yeah.
And she puts that down. She takes the nuts and she goes, "There you go," and then runs off to the camp. Hopefully, makes it there.
Never to be seen from again.
Good night would be going looking for Shauna.
Doesn't take too long.
And-
At this point, she's able to make her way there.
Sister, our mother.
Were you going to say something if you found her away from camp? Good night. Were you trying to do something?
Yeah, as soon as Sister Esme came back, he would try and use divine sense.
Okay.
Do I see anything or sense anything?
Sense. Okay, so any celestial, fiend, or undead? No.
Well, that's good.
Mother, I found you some nuts.
Are these the ones you saw in your scrying?
Yes.
Wonderful. So I'll just add those to another jar and just put them next to the honey.
Shauna,
Yes.
did you pick up all the things that were wrong with that person?
No. I did not.
They were very clearly disguised magically. Their footprints were wrong. They were knocking, branches as they went by that weren't in proportion to their body.
Why didn't you tell me? I could have dispelled the magic disguising them.
I honestly thought you saw, to be honest, because
No, I was paying attention to someone's aunt.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Insight check. Nope. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep, I get it. Looking for aunt.
Yep.
Well, anyway, I think we should get the hell out of here, or we should go find that person and see what's wrong. One of those two things probably makes a lot of sense.
We could probably go find them. I mean, he did seem interested in me and the rest of the group until you guys scared him off by convincing him we were that town that we've never been to. I didn't understand that.
I do feel bad about this now, because what if he was just trying to hide? Maybe he just wanted to be smaller, and then we made him sad, and now he's run off and he doesn't have any friends. And
maybe he was like me and Marvelous, and he's on the run from someone else, and he didn't want to be seen as that person, so he was disguising himself, and we scared him away.
We're obviously done sleeping.
You're still in bed?
What? Yeah. Phelan looks up from his.
Yeah, you really have a problem with that snow ghost.
What's happening? I mean, I couldn't help but hear. Do you think they're around?
I mean, I could follow their trail. Shouldn't be too hard.
we should apologize.
I just want to throw out here that also it might be a horrible beast that was trying to eat us, and it was just working its way in.
Yeah, but it wouldn't get honey for Mother Esme, would it?
Right. Oh, I feel awful now. I'm going to write an apology note.
Well, there's like half a dozen people who are out to kill us, or groups.
There are a lot.
So,
Well, Dewdrop, you said this thing was
to the dog.
much bigger than us?
No, it was just much bigger than it was presenting. So, did I get a sense of its total size when it was doing that?
No, you just saw, like I said, something about
Just-
just 2 feet out from
Yeah.
the move.
So it was just bigger than it was showing us. I can do the same thing when I disguise myself. I can take a
Alright,
good foot
so-
off my height.
So, Good Night draws back in the sand. So it's probably not that dragon we were looking at.
It didn't have as big of a dragon kind of vibe.
Most likely isn't tea, and she actually
Oh!
he actually makes like a teacup.
Yep. Esme, while you were gone, we discovered someone spying on us, and so we're using code words now.
Oh,
So T stands for the person who likes tea.
that would be you.
Yes,
And
no, not in this case.
Telepathically communicate with
Yeah.
husband.
Palin is done. He's like, okay, I'm done with this.
So frustrated, doing a bad job of packing his gear.
Yeah.
And then he puts fancy pants.
Oh, I forgot.
Could it
about
be that? Or should I cross that off too? Too
I
big?
mean-
Not big enough?
Oh, I forgot about him. Plus
Yeah.
Shauna's assassins.
Yep.
Were they big enough for Shauna's assassins?
I don't
Good
know
job.
what John's
Could
assassins
be.
look like.
I don't
Could
know.
they?
And they could be anybody. I mean, but again,
Could
I
they
would
have
go
been
after-
paladins? Do they look like me?
Well, they were just a little guy. Guy or girl? I can't remember.
there was a guy. His name was Pip.
Pip.
I think they were. I mean, they didn't seem dangerous. And the minute they thought the three of us were wackos, they kind of ran off.
You're right. Oh, this is awful.
I mean, we did give ourselves a bad name. We should at least go fix that.
Yes. Yes, we should.
Okay. May the light of a Bahamut guide us and bless us in this holy day. As he's
So
willing to head towards
we're just
whichever direction they go in.
we're gonna chase the forest weirdo. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, forest weirdo it is. Big sigh, and Dewdrop will start looking for his trail.
Critters would join them. So
Uh.
how much bigger were you talking about?
I mean, maybe 2 feet. Yeah, I saw brush moving about 2 feet out from where his form was. But I mean, I didn't get a great look. But looking at the prints too, the prints didn't look like the way humanoids' footfalls happen. It was kind of like up on the front of the foot in an odd way. I'll show you in a second when we catch this trail. Oh God! All right, 16. It hovered on a 1 for the longest time, but I was kind of really excited for it to fall on the 1, but it didn't. It fell on. So 16 survival, looking for his.
Survival check. Okay. You see where they had stepped back and have moved. Same type of footprint, and like a boot that you follow.
You know, it just occurs to me, just as we're following this trail, everyone, if they think we're scary or crazy, now we're tracking them through the woods. Is that really what we want to be doing? Because, like, if let's just say I'm wrong and they're just a lovely person out for a stroll and they got freaked out by us, now we're hunting them. Is that the thing we want to do?
No. What I was thinking, if we do encounter them, they're probably going to want to run away. So we might have to hold them down a little bit and try to reason with them.
Oh, you could
I
use
have a
your
spell for that.
collar. Oh, or yeah, there's many options.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. I'm gonna
Maybe
keep on the trail.
Marvella should handle this. Marvella seems much better at talking.
There are times I feel like we need a grown up. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, if you saw me coming through the woods with my sword drawn, wouldn't you think I'm just the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Or Dragon Man? As he raises his shield.
I'd be nervous.
All right, Marvellus, do you get in on this? Godfather Marvellus.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Well, I worry about a couple of things.
Oh my god.
Yes,
It's
Marvellus.
accurate.
I worry about that we've been spied on, and most likely since we left. And then, two, I remember us having an item that some unworldly creature tried to coax us to get for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then out in this marsh, somebody shows up. The good news is we did pay him for his time, I understand. So
Pretty well, to be honest. That's a good wage.
sorry, y'all. Lost my voice. That's why I haven't talked a whole lot.
Oh,
If it's either of the two, it's plausible that they are not really leaving. They're just maybe putting on a show or circling around. So it might be worth our while just to kind of not necessarily try to follow them, but maybe move to wherever we're headed, but keep a vigilant watch.
Well, when we start moving toward where we're headed, we're going to be doing it at an enormous rate of speed because I was going to wind walk us. That is if the plan is still to pop by Mother Esme's mom's grandmother as I don't, it's, you know what I mean.
Sure. But even then, it kind of lends itself to, if it's the otherworldly creature, probably be able to keep up with us. At least we have a better idea. Not being lured into a trap.
Mhm.
But that's just a couple of observations.
Those are really good observations, actually. Maybe we don't pursue Pip, and we just hope that they can forgive us.
They look forgiving.
We could send him a message.
Oh God,
That's a good idea.
yes.
I actually can do that.
There you go. You can apologize that way.
That's what I'll do. Oh, wait, I can't do that. I think that's not a spell I have, is it? No. But I can
You could write down the words and I can send it to him because I have that prepared.
Oh, I have sending. I could do that.
That's what
I
I
can
was
do
talking
that.
about.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can do it. I'll do it right now. And I'll apologize. All right, so I just go ahead and cast it without even thinking what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Pip, it's Esme. I'm really sorry if I scared you earlier. We have had bad luck with strangers. Please forgive us. Let's be friends, okay? 25 words.
Yes.
We are friends. The kind that are good sending these long distance messages to. Thank you for apologizing. We're totally square. Hope next time we meet is better and in a more populated area.
great news. I just heard from Pip. They said that we're all squares and that we should definitely meet in a large city at some point in the future. And we're all friends now.
Oh,
We should-
great.
Have them come to Vasselheim next time we're back there.
We give him a call, have him pop over.
Exactly.
But he accepted the apology. That's the important thing.
Okay, Dewdrop, let's break wind.
All right. Esme, do you happen to have any holy water on you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
If you could just pour a little bit into the palm of my hand here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will produce flame with my other hand. Bring the two together as I say the incantation in Druidic. And you'll see as my hands, as I'm doing that, my hands start to kind of turn gaseous. And then I blow the rest of the stuff up in the air, and it kind of surrounds everybody, and everybody else starts to turn gaseous. And man, we're fast now. 300 feet has a flying speed. And as I'm fading, and it's starting to take me away, I say, do we know what direction we're going?
No!
We're following you.
Yeah, because Dewdrop's realizing at this point, we've talked about going to Esme's mom's house a ton, but he has no idea where it is.
I believe it's west.
I could do west. West I can do.
Telepathically, you'll hear from Palin. According to Osiris's oracular vision, 15 sessions ago.
West it is. And I will start leading the crew west.
You glide upon the wind. Faster and faster. And you find yourself quickly traveling, trees whizzing by as you keep moving, and you can kind of see at the height you're able to get what's possibly the ocean hundreds of miles away. Then you continue until you realize you're passing over frozen tundra now. Wet, very little wildlife, and it is time to find a place. I guess Dewdrop, where type of place do you try to find?
I'm going to we have the hut regularly. Do I know that, or is that something that's a special use item or something?
Every night.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not too concerned about having shelter. I just kind of want to pick a spot that's kind of flat that won't be too much of a pain for us to move around while we set everything up.
Okay. Easy enough. You can find a spot and make camp. And starts to grow a bit night. It's cold. Hear the sound of game. But other than that, not much. Just a little mist rolling in. And we set up the hut.
Yep. The hut, telepathic bond for an hour. So, because I know that some of us are being watched. So in case people want to talk.
Palin will be closely observing Shauna casting the hut again.
Marvelous asks Shauna, can they scry inside the hut?
Yes, they can. I mean, I could learn a spell that would allow us to be invisible every night if we want, but it's high level magic again.
As you finish the hut, begins to snow. White starts to cover the outside of this orb, blocking your view.
John, what is the nature of the hut? Is it something that someone can attack us in?
I mean, okay. I believe they can't enter unless I designate.
I guess they could just dispel it, right?
They can dispel it. It's a magical spell, so if they have any type of caster, they can easily dispel it or anything like that. But
all right, I will put my sphere down as well. So if we're doing watches outside, we can have some shelter that hides us.
So when I cast the spell, everybody inside the spell when I cast it can go freely, but anybody that's outside of it, when I cast it, cannot enter it.
Okay. So around it, I will cast Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, which is a 30-foot sphere, which just gives us a little bit of extra bonus inside that sphere. That's all.
Palin will thump the staff and cast Great Bonfire in the center of the
Nice.
hut.
Good Night, being the paranoid person he is going to try and just detect again to see if he sees any fiends or anything.
So right now everything would be on full cover around you because you're in the hut and now snow has fallen, kind of obscuring your vision.
We're kind of in an igloo now.
Okay.
I mean, you can walk out and just kind of brush the snow off, and kind of leave a hole if you wanted to kind of give a scent. It's up to you.
Yeah, I will do that and then go back in it.
The range is what, 60 feet?
60 feet, yes.
Your senses, and there is an intense chill on your skin that almost burns, signaling the presence of undead.
Oh.
All right. Where is this thing at?
You get direction?
So it says you sense anything until the end of your next turn. You sense anything affected by the hollow spell, or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead. So yes, I know the location.
Cool. Straight up.
Okay. I step back inside the igloo and inform them that we have undead directly above us.
Matt, every time I use the staff, do I have to roll a d20 for any spell?
Yes, whenever you cast a spell and using it as your focus, or using one of its charges.
Okay. So I did roll for Create Bonfire, and I rolled a natural 20.
Ooh.
Okay. In
I
that
just wanted to
case,
resolve that before. Whatever.
Roll a d12.
This is really nerve-wracking because I'm using the Vecna dice and they don't show. It was a natural 1 this time.
Oh!
Or a 1 on a d12.
Okay. The crystal globe gets brighter and brighter and before it just bursts with pure sunlight.
Oh,
Palin?
What's up, buddy?
From
They're not
outside, you
bright
just
enough?
see this light thing of snow that lights in the middle of the night in the dark forest.
Was the
managing to fail stealth checks. Palin's frantically trying to bodily cover it, shield it with his cloak. Stop.
Knock off an additional charge, please.
Okay. Oh Lord, that's hysterical.
well, if there are undead here, they definitely know we're here.
I need you to make an Arcana check to try to turn it off.
Okay.
'Cause you didn't quite know what you did. It was just this, ah!
Hey, maybe the undead don't like daylight. I don't know. Or is that
dirty
vampires?
20?
30-20. Yeah. So you kind of fiddle with it. And then finally you sort of focus and breathe, and you just see a small rune on the crystal, and you trace it backwards. It erases, and the daylight goes away.
Palin's blinking those, spots out of his eyes, blinded still. It's sorry, I knew.
Is at this point that you notice a mist blow into the dome.
Oh.
I'm not doing that.
I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Right.
Please note, everyone will get plus 5 to this.
Oh.
Nice.
Constitutions.
29.
Wow.
21.
12.
17.
22.
14.
Okay, the DC here is 21.
Oh God! I rolled a 20. It's there's no way I failed. Oh.
Thank you. Good night.
For those of you who failed, that will be 44 cold damage.
Oh shoot!
And that would be 22 for the rest of you.
As soon as that happens, will I be able
those of
to-
you who failed are also frightened. And if you're frightened, you're paralyzed.
Question: would it, once the magic hits, would... Oh, never mind. Wrong spell. I thought that was something different. Never mind.
I guess the next thing after this is initiative for the people not paralyzed.
Yeah, let me get this up.
So who all passed?
21 beats it, right?
29.
Yep.
Beats it.
21.
Oh, 21. Yep, Marvelous.
So it's Shauna, Marbellus, and Critters.
Good luck, y'all.
Go ahead and roll initiative.
God. That's a natural one for Shauna. For a 3.
A 2 for Marvelous for a 14.
18 for critters.
All right. I need Mother Esme and Bad Night.
Hold on. I clicked the wrong button. I roll a 22.
Nice. And what'd you get? Good night. You're muted if you're answering me. I just saw 5. Okay.
Sorry
Juke
about
got
that.
a 17.
All right. So you're here in your tiny hut. And let's see, Mother Esme, you are paralyzed?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then you can, at the end of your turn, make a Constitution,
Okay.
or was it Constitution saving throw.
All right. I'll go ahead and use inspiration on this roll.
Okay.
That will be a 20.
And you still got
wait.
the
But plus
right?
5, that's 25.
Okay. Your paralysis ends at the end of your turn.
Nice.
Cricket.
Where the wind blew in, I will head out that way.
Okay. What is your dark vision?
120 feet. You'll see Cricket. From the inside, you'll see his eyes glow gold with the sand ray.
Nice. You look, and there is this massive gray, wispy form. It's almost translucent. You can see the moon through its body. It's ghost-like, but in the form of an enormous dragon.
Oh.
Oh, we need to get out of here, guys. And I will bonus action Kensei shot and draw the bow and fire 2 arrows.
Okay.
Yeah. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
That is 11. And I'm going to do favor foe. So that's another d6. So that's 19 total damage. And I'll fire again.
Okay. You immediately see this ghostly form doesn't take the full damage.
All right. And then the second one is a 29 to hit.
Hits.
And that is 11. And I'll have my swarm follow the arrow on this one as well and do the extra piercing damage. So that's 1 plus 1. So a total of 13 damage for the second hit.
Okay.
And then I will run to the backside of our dome.
Inside of it or around it?
I'll run around to the backside of it.
Okay. So currently you see this thing is 120 feet off the air. Okay. In that case, Dewdrop.
Okay.
Paralyzed?
Yes, paralyzed, frightened. I will use my inspiration for this Constitution, and that gives me advantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good team. No.
And your turn's
And-
still paralyzed. Oh,
Oh, here we go. So 20 plus what I get from Goodnight if he's still in the vicinity.
yeah. You will. By the end of the turn, you're no longer paralyzed.
Yes. Thank you.
Marvelous.
So I will grab my loot and start just kind of playing a melody and just kind of weaving the music through and create a counter charm. So anybody that's frightened has advantage on their saving throws.
Ooh. Very good. Anything else?
Let's see. I will say to, well, Goodnight's paralyzed. I don't think I can give him bardic inspiration. You know what? I will, as a bonus action, I will cast my new feat, Fabulous Presence,
Ooh.
and just shout out that regardless of what we see and what we face, everyone here tonight can stand and deliver a victory.
Okay.
Now, everybody has advantage on your attack rolls and skill checks until the start of your next turn. Or my next turn.
Okay. Palin,
Alright.
you're paralyzed and a save at the end of your turn. So with advantage.
Okay.
And the +5.
That is a 18 plus 5, 23.
23 passes. Oh,
And that's the turn, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
And then just remind me because my brain went poof. Did you get inside the dome or outside the dome, Cricket?
I'm outside the dome.
Okay. Very good then. Then they will. Going to float on down and move behind cover, but come within 80 feet. Actually, they're going to come all the way down to 40 at this point. And stay behind trees, keeping themselves hidden, or at least under cover. And good night.
Alright, Good Night's going to try and become unfrightened.
That's right, so paralyzed. Turn. Ooh, buddy. You did have advantage on that.
Yeah. There we go. 27.
All
That
right.
makes sense.
Realization ends. Shauna.
Okay. Are we fighting this thing? Are we getting away? Anyone?
Some of us can't move closer to it because we're frightened. So
Then
Do you have a plan to escape from something that can probably fly faster than us?
does it involve us using your gas form?
The what now?
The gas form.
I could do that for us tomorrow morning.
So something quicker.
Yeah.
Because my plan is to give us protection for at least 10 minutes.
I don't have anything quicker.
Okay, then
All-
I,
Yeah, I burned my highest level ability for the day.
okay, so we're fighting. Then Shauna is going to cast Big B's Hand
Yeah.
Okay.
and have it appear and punch the dragon. Ooh. I don't know where the dragon's at.
Right. You actually, if you're in the dome, you can't see the dragon because of the
Yes.
snow that covered it.
And actually, if I'm in the dome, I don't even think I can cast a spell outside of the dome either. So
You can't. You can't cast outside.
no. Okay, this is going to change it then. Instead, I'm going to pull out my Amulet of Pure Flame and create daylight around us.
Okay. All right. So, orb of daylight surrounds you.
That'll be my turn.
Mother Esme.
All right, if I understand correctly, because I'm frightened, I can't exit this
Well,
area.
did
correct?
did you make your save or did you fail it?
I made the save, but you told me to remove
Yes.
paralyzed, not frightened.
It removes frightens because paralyzes because of the frightened. You saved against the frightened, therefore you're not paralyzed.
Oh,
So you are not frightened currently. Sorry about that.
all right. Okay, so in that case, what I will do, I don't want to go out there on my own, especially not knowing where it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cast a I'm going to cast Aura of Purity, and so that will give everyone advantage on saving throws for blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, stunned, if it tries to do anything like that, as long as they're in a 30-foot radius of me.
Okay, very cool.
So that's what I'll do.
Yeah, that's good because the counter summon only works for a turn, so that overcovers that. It's very nice.
So that's my concentration spell. And I'm not going to move because there's no point in me moving. I'm going to try to stay with the group. So, yeah, I'll follow everybody else if they move, but I'm staying put.
You got it. So to be clear, that magic does not reach critters.
Correct.
Because
It's only
the
in the...
dome's because the dome stops it.
Oh, that's true. That's
Yo.
true.
Just kind of keeping that in sight. And then it's turn critters.
Seeing that the dome's still up, I'm assuming they're still trying to figure out a plan to escape. I will. Pop out from the cover of the dome, and it's within 60 feet of me now.
It is.
I will pull out a small crystal lens and a gold frame
Ooh,
and look at it, and I'm like, cast Identify Vitals.
nice.
And
Yeah.
so that way I get advantage on the attack roll, and I can score crits on a 19 as well.
Very nice. Does it just say creature on that?
Targeted creature, yes.
Okay. No limitations? Then you got it.
And I will bonus action patient defense. And then
Yeah. So I think it's interesting as you look through your lens, it's this thing seems to be made up of emotion. It is a ghost. And you find that there is a kind of what almost resembles where a heart would be, but it seems to be the focus of whatever is keeping it here. Its force of will that doesn't let it pass on. And you think that's, if you can disrupt that, that's the weakest spot.
All right. This might be a little bit easier than I initially thought. If you guys come out, we can easily, or someone can easily take it out, I believe.
That gives you that crit advantage, but it's not going to change much else.
Okay.
It's just how flavorful you have better chances of.
Okay.
Okay. So is that it?
Yep.
All right. 2 drop.
All right. I'm going to step out the door. How many feet of movement do I use to get out of there? 5 feet, 10 feet?
Yeah, about 10 feet.
Okay. Do I see some spots where I could have total cover from the critter? I can't quite tell from the map.
What's your dark vision?
My dark vision is 0.
You don't see nothing, sir. You don't know where that creature is.
Hey, everyone. I don't even think it's out here anymore. I'm going to step back into the hut.
Actually, I'm sorry. What's the range of your daylight? I forgot you cast the light spell there.
So daylight would go 60 feet and then sheds dim light for additional 60.
Okay, never mind. So very brightly lit. You see this thing. As far as getting total cover, I mean, trying to move behind the dome might be your best bet.
The dome gives cover from like a breath weapon. It would cover.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Okay. I'm gonna yell again. I'm like, oh no, I was looking the wrong way. I see it now, and I'm gonna drop Moonbeam on. I'm gonna reach in my pocket and pull out a couple of moon seeds, and several moon seeds, and a bit of feldspar that I keep in my breast pocket. And I'm going to kind of slap my hands together, and when I do, just gigantic bit of moonlight comes slamming down on it. I'm casting it at 5th level.
All right.
It is a Constitution 18.
And is it when it appears?
Let's see. Let me read it. When the creature enters the spell area for the first time on a turn, or it starts its turn there. So
it's when it starts its turn. So not right now.
Well, but
so
isn't this the first time it enters it?
Nope.
Okay.
Otherwise it would hit it twice, basically, and it doesn't hit it twice.
Gotcha. And if it's a shapeshifter, it has disadvantage. And I'm gonna just kind of pat my chest and be like, my work here's done. I'm going back in the hut. No, I'm going to. Yeah. Well, no. If I go back in the hut, does it get rid of my spell?
No, it's just a concentration space, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then
you
I'm
can concentrate on it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I did everything I could out there. Bonus action. Going to heal myself. I will burn some Balm of the Summer Court. Where is it? Come on. All right. That's going to be 5d6 plus a d4 plus temporary hit points. Oops, those are d4. Yeah, 5d6.
Okay. In that case, Marvelous.
So did I hear critters yell out something?
Critters yelled out he thought it would be easier to kill than we all think.
Oh.
I didn't see any sign of that when I was outside. It looked horrifying.
So if I step outside the dome, how far away is it from me?
I would say it's within about 40 feet.
Okay, so I'll just kind of, since I had the loot playing the counter charm, I'll just kind of I'll change the tune up to nice love song, and I'll just start talking, playing it, and nice musical notes flying over to it, and then I'll just whisper to it throughout the notes that this is what it's missing. This is what you've lost, and oh, how dreary that is. And cast dissonant whispers.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a wisdom save?
Yeah, 19.
That is a 26.
Oof.
So take half damage.
Okay.
Let me cast it. It'll take half of 25, so 12.
All right. That's psychic.
Psychic.
Okay, cool. Change that.
And then I'll back up into the dome and look at Palin and say, "You've got this. Get out there and kill it," and give him bardic inspiration.
Marvellous, you hear in your head, "You don't know death. You don't know pain. You don't know loss."
That's why I was talking about love.
Kaylin,
Emboldened by Marvellous.
Yes.
And yet unmoved, Palin is going to fish for a little shaving of licorice root in his component pouch, slap a hand on Goodnight's shoulder, and give him a thumbs up, casting haste.
Nice.
And will make absolutely no attempt to leave. And that'll be my turn.
okay. Right. It's going to swoop over Critters, who is outside. As it does, it opens its ghostly maw to strike. Oof, for a natural one.
Oh!
And as it misses with that, it gets it lower to about 5 feet within you and has two claws that rip down for a 24 to hit
Yep.
and a natural 20.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
So that is a total of 35 necrotic damage. Moves through. And then it's going to move up 30 feet.
Matt, at the start of its turn, it would have had to do a con save.
Correct.
Did it do those attacks with disadvantage, by the way? Because I had base and defense.
So, okay, so it failed its con save.
Oh. 28 radiant.
So I checked the disadvantage. Sorry about that. I didn't hear you say patient defense. But
Oh, did I not say it?
you might have said it. I just didn't hear you say it. It's all good. So you only take 12 necrotic from that. Because the one hit turns into a miss and the crit turns into a hit. And then good night.
Alright. Goodnight's going to exit the hut and
So he's about 40 feet in the air.
alright. he is going to pull out his handy dandy hammer. With a bonus action, he is going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And then he is going to throw the hammer at the target.
Yeah.
25 to hit for the first one.
That hits.
As it returns. Well, I guess I can do damage. So 8 plus.
What are you getting your plus from?
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's Mark, right? Okay, so it's 12.
Well,
So that's half to 6.
and then, even though this is magical?
Yep.
Okay. Just wanted to verify. And then, as it comes back, he's going to spin around and do it again.
Right.
It is 16.
That will hit.
Uh, 13 damage.
You have to 6 again. Very good.
And then one last time. Yeah, 13.
13 hits.
And 8.
4. Very good. As you're thrown here, whoom, whoom, the swarm is just so huge. And as your weapons pass through its ghostly frame, they seem to take bits of the spirit with it, as it's just massive. Anything else?
Yes, he is going to expand the rest of his movement of the 50 feet that he would have had to maneuver out of a distance that would be in line with anyone.
Okay. Very good.
And ends his turn.
All right, Shauna.
Alright. Yeah, I have to do it. The hut's gonna disappear as I drop it and I create Bigby's hand.
Okay.
And I punch it.
Yeah.
So that is a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Alright, that's 68. So that is 25 force damage.
Okay. Yeah, that just hurts the ghost form immensely.
And then I kind of cower.
All right. It shivers and yells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm with our
moving.
department.
Yeah, I'm moving.
All right. And it looks. And as the dome comes down, you see its head quirk and stare at Sister Esme.
Oh boy.
And with that, we were in for tonight.
Oh!
Why does everyone hate me?
Targeted.
Oh man.
It's not like there's a dragon god walking next to you.
Yeah.
All right, those of you watching, thank you so much. We will continue this next week, and we'll see where we get. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.